What's going on, everyone? February 11th, and we're going to get into it. So this is the general broad stock market video, and I hate to say it, but I am going to touch base a little bit on crypto because we had some very interesting action in Litecoin. So without further ado, the S&P 500. And guys, if you do find value in these videos, please do subscribe. I would really appreciate it. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. That is my goal. And, the goal is to just give some feedback, or not give some feedback, give something back to you guys so you guys can maybe improve your trading skills, maybe look at different perspectives. And that's ultimately what helps me. It helps talking through my game plans, what I'm looking at, what patterns I'm seeing. And that way it kind of forces me to keep on a consistent basis with what I'm looking at. And actually, believe it or not, it does help with my trading. So, that being said, S&P V-shaped recovery. So we're going to look at the weekly. Yep, just want to see what this looks on the weekly time frame. Very nice to see that we closed above the middle Bollinger Band. But all this is right now is just a lower high compared to this 280 level. Obviously, massive bounce up. Weekly consolidation would be nice, right? We still have to form a higher low and then a higher high on the weekly time frame to change the weekly trend. As of now, we are in a weekly downtrend. So be cautious on the daily time frame. Now that being said, daily time frame is looking strong. Had a bit of a hiccup last week, but we seem to be coming around. So I'm going to jump into the hourly time frame. Yep, broke past this previous lower high. So we did consolidate a bit, and then boom, kind of bulls came back, bull flagging. We need to confirm tomorrow and beat the high of today at the very least. Apple's looking good. Consolidation did look like it was over on the daily, but could be wrong. Okay, so we started consolidating on the daily. This is perfectly fine. I would like to see us hold above this 168 level. So if we can hold the low of today and then start pushing up first thing tomorrow and beat the high of today, that would be perfect. I actually might enter a position on Apple if that does happen. Daily time frame looks good. I talked about this before with us changing the daily trend because right now previously we were in a daily downtrend, lower highs, lower lows, and then we beat that when we bust through this previous lower high right here, right, punched right through it, came down, and then a very strong follow through. That is exactly what the bulls want to see, and I will be entering once that daily consolidation is over. Facebook, sort of the same thing. Definitely broke through several resistance levels, and I'm going to have to see. We're kind of trading sideways right now. As you can see, we're going up a little bit, came back down, held the low of this candlestick, so we're in an equilibrium. It's going to break one way or the other, and if we break bearish, that's fine. I will look to reload above this level down here. That's like the next higher low, right? So we had a low, higher low. We need to form a higher low in retrospect to this level down here. Netflix getting tight. So, guys, it did exactly what I said it did, right? So we're in equilibrium. Came up here, here's the higher the run, formed a higher low, double top, came back down. I said we're going to have to form a higher low compared to this low down here. That's exactly what it looks like we did. And this could be a cup and handle on the daily time frame as well. So keep that in mind. This is the cup, this could be the handle, and if that's the case, we should see some nice follow through if it is a cup and handle. Amazon, really don't like this action. It's not pretty. It's sideways, ugly, and down. I really don't like it. I don't have too much good insight. Obviously, daily downtrend. And yeah, the next resistance level is all the way back up here. So the fact that we're just bouncing back, coming back down, kind of all over the place, it doesn't really give a clear direction. So I would be cautious with Amazon. Just going to look at the weekly. Yep. Okay, so the weekly, all this was just a lower high on the weekly time frame, right? So now we're consolidating on the weekly, which is good, actually. But in order to change the weekly trend, we have to form a higher low compared to this low, higher low, and then continue on to a higher high. So yes, this could be a bull flag, but again, I would be cautious. It doesn't look too pretty on the daily time frame. Oil, what's going on with oil? Oh no, I don't like this. 51.31, 51.22. Shoot. So we did break that level that we needed to hold to maintain to maintain the daily uptrend. So, from the low, we kept on forming these higher lows, right? So there's a high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and then boom, we kind of penetrated this level down here. Obviously, lower wick indicates a lot of buying, but keep in mind, we did breach that key level that we had to hold, only by a few cents, but regardless, I may trim some of my oil position just to be careful, but nothing too crazy at this point. It is a bear sign that we broke that candle. It really is. So I would be cautious if you have any oil plays. And we can always look to reload as it gets lower, right? If it does continue down, we can always buy lower. So I'm really not too worried about oil. Gold's looking pretty good on the daily time frame. Still forming a daily bull flag, in my opinion. We really need to see this start to come around, the bulls start to buy up in order for that daily bull flag to continue. Nat gas, so getting pretty oversold in natural gas. I'm going to jump to the hourly. Ooh, pretty ugly in the hourly. I'm actually going to go to the 4 hour. Huh. Wow, okay. So we might have started the change of a trend in the 4 hour time frame. Couple things. I noted this last time. I think this is, I don't actually know if this is bullish divergence. I gotta see the RSI level. What is it? 21? Okay. 22, so that's lower. That's higher. Yeah, so technically bullish, it's not very clear, so I wouldn't depend on the bullish divergence, but the bullish divergence is there, so I would anticipate a nice bounce in natural gas. I actually might play natural gas. I might throw some money in there. Yeah, so on the 4 hour time frame, this was the last higher low, or the last lower high, I should say, and we barely poked through there. Okay, so be cautious. We're pulling back from that test. If this is some true bull strength, we're going to rally back up and then continue and break that level. So on the hourly time frame, it's going to look like this. We need to hold this low, right? This is the all-time low here. We did poke above that level just briefly, if you can see over here, and then we came back down. So we need to form a higher low and higher high on the hourly time frame to get that 4 hour trend really going. Okay, so here's what I'm talking about with Litecoin. I was watching Dan's crypto video, and if you guys don't watch Dan from the Chart Guys, I highly recommend you do. He is the best in the business. Him and there's another guy I watch. I think it's Justin from 420 Capital. But Dan was covering Litecoin, and he covered this before in the Canadian MJ space, where he was watching for a change in the weekly trend for a buy signal. So everyone knows the story with crypto. Everyone lost all their money because they bought in at the very top. So we've been in a weekly downtrend ever since, and this includes Ethereum and Bitcoin, but we're looking at Litecoin specifically because we have started the weekly trend change. This is huge. So I got to zoom in here for you guys to get a real good look at it. So up until here, right, lower highs, lower lows, just continuing to go down until, let's see, here's like the all-time low, right? We come up, that's just a lower high. We form a higher low, and now, boom, we punch to a higher high. That's the first time we have seen a higher low and a higher high in, like a year, ever since December of 18, pretty much a year, or December of 17. So pretty much a full year of downside, and we could just be starting to curl this back up. So keep an eye on crypto. And I've never bought crypto, but it is a trend change. So we're going to be keeping an eye out for BTC, USD to follow. And it has not followed. It has not changed the trend on the weekly time frame. We are still seeing lower highs, lower lows, but it looks like we have formed a higher low compared to the all-out low recently. So we have to see higher high on the weekly time frame for that to be confirmed. Alright, and that's pretty much it, guys. Again, please subscribe if you do enjoy the content, and I will be back tomorrow with another video. Thanks.